If you ever feel like you're a simp, just know that I went on a couple dates with someone, a couple hangouts, and we had been talking for about a month and a half. And then I was like, it's almost my birthday. And they're like, oh, I'll get you a present. And I said, what are you going to get me? And they said, I'll give you a pen from my house. And I was like, that's so amazing. I can't wait. So then we had a couple more hangouts, which I guess I kind of assumed were dates. And they took me to a bison farm to watch the bison get vaccine shots. And then they went to drop me off. And they're like, oh yeah, the pen's in the back of the car if you want to go find it. And so I reached over to the back and I got the pen. And I was like, I love it. Thank you so much. That's so thoughtful of you. And I went home and I took a picture with the pen writing and I was like, I love the pen. It works great. Thanks again. And I would text them being like, using the pen you gave me. Haha. And we continued to talk and we even like kissed a couple times and I was starting to catch feelings and they'd text me and I'd start giggling. And then one day they texted me saying, so there's a girl I want to ask to be my girlfriend. And I was like, all bashful. And I was just playing along like, oh, really? What's her name? And they said a name that wasn't my name. And I was like, oh. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe they just don't realize like my feelings for them. Like maybe I've just been playing it too cool.
Dying for the right cause is the most human thing we can do.
What do you mean? Right? Joe.
I'm doing business. I love you.
Hey, my friends, my name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Today's video is going to be a positive video. Today's video is green flags in women if they are sweethearts. Now, those tend to be unicorns. Well, especially if they're very beautiful. But I've met some women that are sweethearts. Now, I don't know if they are still sweethearts, but those women, how can you tell those women? Those women are similar like that woman at the beginning of the video. They talk in a real delicate way. They are ultra feminine. They are careful with their words. They are self-conscious. And definitely they radiate empathy. So I would probably say, which I don't always like using that word because people be using a lot of these words too much. Like I am an empath and stuff. I have to see with your actions if you look like you are a empath. I believe a lot of people have certain characteristics of a lot of those titles that we say, such as being a narcissist. Someone may not be a full-on narcissist, but they may have narcissistic traits, because I know quite a few women that have narcissistic traits, and being in a toxic relationship with this one woman definitely has made me have certain narcissistic traits, which my main one is being petty. And yeah, pretty much that's the only main one that comes off the top of my head. And I guess I can be vindictive, but that goes into the pettiness type of thing, which I'm working on that. But I like having it in a way because it gives me a little bit of an edge and it makes me not a total pushover. For especially men, we definitely need to have that. And I will say, with a lot of the men that women will come across, being a sweetheart is not usually a good thing. You usually do need to have protective brothers or sisters or people that will protect you. Now, the only bad thing is, though, some women will pretend that they are sweethearts. And sweethearts are probably equivalent of the nice guy, but in female form. And whereas a lot of women don't really care for nice guys too much because of the I'm not this video is not really going to be about that, but they get caught up with the fake nice guys. And that's the thing that I have to draw a line in the sand with, because you have fake nice guys and fake nice girls, or fake nice women and fake nice men. But I always think people expose themselves, their true nature, if you are around them long enough. Thing is, you may choose not to see the tells that they are showing you because either you find them really attractive or you're having such a good time with them, or the physical fun is really good. Okay, I didn't really want to say what I was about to say. So we're going to look at that first video in this full length so that you can kind of read how a sweetheart usually moves. Let's begin.
If you ever feel like you're a simp, just know that I went on a couple dates with someone, a couple hangouts, and we had been talking for about a month and a half. And then I was like, it's almost my birthday. And they're like, oh, I'll get you a present. And I said, what are you going to get me? And they said, I'll give you a pen from my house. And I was like, that's so amazing. I can't wait. So then we had a couple more hangouts, which I guess I kind of assumed were dates. And they took me to a bison farm to watch the bison get vaccine shots. And then they went to drop me off. And they're like, oh yeah, the pen's in the back of the car if you want to go find it. And so I reached over to the back and I got the pen. And I was like, I love it. Thank you so much. That's so thoughtful of you.
Now, another thing is, this woman likes this guy, so obviously she's putting her best self forward. But neither here nor there, sweetheart women are usually definitely appreciative of the littlest thing that you do for them. Now, does that last 5 years, 10 years from now? I don't know. I have no reference because I have no anecdotal evidence myself. I can only go by the women that I've seen in action, that I've known for a couple years or so, and how they are in their relationships from what I can see. But I don't see the little nuances. Now, I will admit, a lot of sweethearts usually do get with men that do kind of take them for granted and will kind of boss them around to a certain degree, and will treat them not really bad, but will be a little dismissive with them once they get used to them to a degree. But I believe that's because a lot of times they get with the wrong type of guy, a guy that might be not really a bad boy, but, and I have to think for a second. I think with some of the sweetheart women that I know, they usually get with those nerdy guys that even though they are more on the nerdy spectrum, at the same time they may somewhat party with the players, or not really the thugs, but they'll be at a frat party they may not be the leaders in that party, but they pretty much are in that particular thing, and they may drink a lot and party a lot. I already said that. So anyway, let her continue.
And I went home and I took a picture with the pen writing, and I was like, I love the pen, it works great, thanks again. And I would text them being like, using the pen you gave me, haha. And we continued to talk, and we even like kissed a couple times, and I was starting to catch feelings, and they'd text me and I'd start giggling. And then one day they texted me saying, so there's a girl I want to ask to be my girlfriend. And I was like, all bashful, and I was just playing along like, oh really, what's her name? And they said a name that wasn't my name, and I was like, oh. And then I was like, okay, well, maybe they just don't realize like my feelings for them, like maybe I've just been playing it too cool. So I was like, I better confess to them how I feel. So I said like, well, maybe I like you like that girl. And they're like, oh. And I was like, yeah. And they're like, I really appreciate you. But like, I guess I just misread that, and like, I just, yeah. I mean, it's a good quality pen though. So it was nice of them, but the relationship just didn't work out. So, you win some, you lose some, but I got a pen out of it, so.
Well, she's adorable right there. She definitely have Disney princess energy right there. Because when I think of a Disney cartoon like The Little Mermaid, or trying to think, Frozen to a degree, but they were starting to change how the princesses act during there. But Tangled and some of those other ones, they have that naive but innocent type of thing. And I believe every man looks for that. Now, unfortunately, not every man deserves that, because it will also be the low down dirty men that will also look for that, and they may trample and stump all over that, over her little heart, in so many words. But from what I seen from her, and I looked at some of her other videos, which I don't know how old she is, but I'm assuming she's in her early 20s. But she definitely not. That's definitely not how. Well, I've never met a 30-year-old that acts like that. Now she could be a teenager as well, which hey, I'm just critiquing the video, but that right there is what I believe a lot of men, not all men, because some men do like the sass. Like I'll say with myself, I can adjust to the woman's personality. I'm not really, I don't mind if she has a strong personality, but see, pretty much when I do something once, I may not want to do it again, especially if it didn't work out. I was already with a woman that had a strong personality, and while she did lower her walls sometime, she raised them up, probably from things that I did. But see, she did things that she wanted me to look the other way. So I just don't feel like doing that song and dance again. If that's how most strong willed women are, they want you to excuse their behavior. But if you make a mistake, or either if you do something back to them, they can't take it. I don't feel like doing that particular thing. So that type of woman is the one type of woman that I've never really dated, which I dated one. Okay, I think my last serious girlfriend, she had that potential right there with that, but the only thing I'll say with her is her friends. her friends were suspect. So even despite the fact that she was acting Disney princess with me for at least a good 5 to 7 months, she was on that vent right there. Her friends were kind of either, well, she was telling me stuff, and she was telling me stuff that her friends was either saying or doing with either other guys or what some of them were saying about me. So that particular thing right there, just I don't want to do that neither. That's another reason why I might be going out of the country. And not to say I won't have certain problems there as well. It's just that I understand that a lot of women go by your stats unless if they have a good heart that hasn't been tainted by their friends and hasn't been trampled or hurt by douchebag dudes. I'm going to get women that are damaged and not well. They're going to press certain things in me that's going to probably get certain reactions, and I'm trying to avoid making the same mistakes twice. Now I have another woman here that does not fit the model of the sweetheart, okay, but she still has the same energy. Now of course this is just a video. Could she be faking? Yes, but with all the toxic stuff that women are saying on TikTok or online period, I appreciate the women that do throw something positive. That way I can't condemn all of you. So let's see this video.
I want to address something to the men. This is only for the men. I know your secret. I know your guys' secret. I know that you guys want someone to come home to and spend quality time and get hugs and cuddles and smooches, and you want someone to make you a sandwich and support you in your dreams and your careers. I know you guys all want that, and I see that, and you guys haven't had that for a very long time, and that breaks my heart because I, as an empath, there is an intuitive person, and when I see those comments, I know that some of you guys haven't had that in a very long time. So I know you guys are softies. You guys are. And you guys are very upset and angry right now. And I get it. I do. So I just wanted to say that I do see that. I recognize that some of you guys just want love. You just want someone to come home to and just be with somebody. It's so unfortunate that the world is so divided right now. Masculine and feminine is just very divided right now. And I really hope that someday we come together again and love each other again, because that's what we need in this world right now. So, and I'm going to send all my love. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Oh my God, she gets it. She really gets it. Now I'm confused about what I'm going to name this video because it's definitely green flags, but this is definitely a certain type of woman that a lot of men look for, is the sweetheart type of woman right there. And of course, sometimes women can fake that they are like this until they get married. But I'm going to take this at face value right here. She could have made a lot of different videos, but she made that one. And she did something in that video that makes me think that she is sincere. Now, the one thing that I will say with that woman, she looks gothic and she has tattoos on. And a lot of men in this space do not like tattoos. I have to admit, I don't like tattoos neither. But if she has to have tattoos, I prefer them not on her legs. Cause I'm a leg guy. Leg and feet guy. Don't judge me. But anyway, pretty feet now. But anyway, as I was saying, in her case, if she has that real type of energy right there, I don't care if her boobs is a little small. I don't care. Well, I really don't want a flat butt. And I will say, with the women that I've dated, even though they don't have, because I'm not really a guy that wants a real big ass anyway, as long as she has something back there, it is not as flat as a pancake, but I'm not going to, what's the word for that? I'm not going to body shame right here. However your body was made is how your body was made. Even though I do think the same way that men can get muscles, as long as you work that muscle back there, you start getting something back there. And one thing that I'll say with the women that I've dated, they all had enough for me. Even the one that was a little on the heavier side, I was happy with her at that time. But as I said, I went that way because I was expecting a different result. And no, I did not get it. So, because of that, I'm going to stay in my lane with the slender, athletic chicks, pretty much. And it's not that you can't, you can meet a good woman at any shape or size. But because as men, we definitely go by how she looks. And for different men is different levels of what they would consider. For me, she don't have to be a swimsuit model. Both those women there, if their energy is really how it is, how they are presenting themselves, that's good enough for me. Right there. That is good enough. They are attractive enough. Where you want to call them a 4 or a 5. I think both of them are around a 5 right there. Now, other guys will say something else. And even if that woman is more like she's someone that I would not date normally, saying the gothic woman. But if she was into me and she liked me and she and I had some things in common and we had good conversation and she had that persona right there, I would say fuck it. Okay, we going gothic today. Okay, so even though I probably would still dress the same way that I dress, except for I probably, and at the same time, I do notice a lot of times when women or men both get into a relationship with each other, they tend to start dressing a little similar to each other. So I'm thinking she'll probably start dressing a little bit more to match up with me, and I'll dress a little bit. I'll wear more darker colors or something, but but pretty much, yeah, I'm going to stay wearing what I usually wear. Anyway, I don't have too much more to add, and I'm going to start rambling right now because it's almost, well, it's 2:30 in the morning, and I need to go to sleep. Okay, or but I still need to go to the gym. Should I go to the gym now or either take a nap and then go later? Because my schedule's a little chopped up right now. So, not sure which one I'm going to do. Give me a like and subscribe. And one other important thing I want to add to all the men out there. Here, come here. Come here. Come closer. If you get An authentic sweetheart type of woman. Do her right. Appreciate her. Because there's not too many of those out there. And do not destroy her. Protect her. And that's the thing too. With a woman with those type of energies right there, it makes me want to protect her. It makes me want to be the man. Okay? Not that I never not want to be the man, but it makes me more of to the degree of get behind me type of thing right there, because I feel like she needs it to a degree. And not that she can't take care of herself, but what I can say is similar, like women, you women have that maternal instinct to take care of your baby or something. I believe men have that particular thing with women. The more feminine she acts, the more masculine she acts, the more they're like, okay, I guess you got it then, type of thing. Unless if you're really attractive. But anyway, and is that all I wanted to say? Yes, I think that's all I wanted to say. Have a good night. And I should have another video tomorrow. Good night. Well, you're going to see this during the day, but still, good night.
Do guys want romance? The short answer to this is yes. The long answer is women don't tend to provide it, but they require it. It doesn't take much to grab your phone and play a slow song and ask your partner to dance with you in the kitchen. It doesn't take much to sit down and cuddle them and tell them that you appreciate them. It doesn't take much that when you're sitting down and you're watching a movie together, you run your fingers through their hair and just enjoy being around them. It doesn't take much to greet them at the door with a big hug. It doesn't take much to stay up and have dinner together if your partner works late and go to bed at the same time. They want romance, just like we want romance. Takes two.